Jai Shriman Narayan, Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. Our topic, the spiritual revolution of the Bhagavad Gita, and we continue, and I've stated at inception that the Bhagavad Gita is a manual for every human being, for every family, for every community, for every society, for every municipality, for every district, for every province or state, for every country, for every continent, and for every living entity in the entire universe. And my job is not only to state this, but to prove it. And today we're going to show you that how the Bhagavad Gita has affected this country, South Africa, and how the Bhagavad Gita became the solution for that problems that occurred in South Africa. And I'm going to interface the concept of the Bhagavad Gita with what is happening in South Africa today. You start in your own country, but if you are intelligent enough, then you can pick this discourse up and you can see it's happening to every part of the world. So the Bhagavad Gita is the constitution on which the Bhagavad Gita is the substratum on which humanity exists. You choose your side. One is the side of the blind king, Dhritarashtra. He is not only blind physically, he is blind morally, he is blind ethically, and he is blind spiritually. And similarly, you will find that and I'm going to be using and delving in the Madlanga Commission. It is an exact reflection of the Bhagavad Gita. It is as if the Bhagavad Gita is being played out in reality right here in our own country, South Africa. The Bhagavad Gita is a script, and all those that attended the Madlanga Commission are the actors from the Bhagavad Gita. And I can prove this evidentially, and this is why I stated that the Bhagavad Gita belongs to every human being. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with culture. The Bhagavad Gita is not a cultural text. It is your very substratum. You are exhibiting the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is embedded in every soul, and you are exhibiting the Bhagavad Gita 24/7. And this is why I stated that we have to refute all the false Bhagavad Gitas so that the real Bhagavad Gita in you can flower you to divinity. So this is our mission. When is Bhagavad Gita week? It's starting on Friday. Okay, Ram, I don't know how, but Ram knows. And if Ram knows, then the Guru has done a top job. And talking about top job, I want to say that it is a great day for me as a Guru. I don't get many great days. People are after my life. I am sick because I think 100 million ISKCON devotees hate me. And their hatred filters down to my consciousness, doesn't it? All right? So I am sick because I'm speaking the absolute truth. Somebody has to speak the truth. You agree with me? Yes. But more than my exposition of the Bhagavad Gita, more than all the work I have done physically at the ashram, the success of Denver's life for the past year, nothing can match. Nothing can match. And Denver thought he's working today. And that is why he didn't come with his wife and his children to cook today and celebrate his 1 year because he thought he is working. But Lord Narayan has greater plans, Denver. And you are here for your 1 year. Your 1 year was on Friday, Thursday. And Denver has walked along on a hard road exactly like his guru. He walked the road of his guru. I was stuck in alcohol for 25 or 26 years. I was a binge drinker. Do you all know what's a binge drinker? Away? Do you know what's a binge drinker? What's a binge drinker? Can't stop until the organs stop. So I drank like that for 25 years. I'll be sober for a long time. Trisha, where's your son? See, he doesn't come on the right days. I could stay without alcohol for 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. But when I started, I'll only stop when I was this close to death. I could smell death in my system. I could smell my rotten stomach, my rotten liver, my whatever else is rotten inside. Look at Ruxana's 40-year-old face. Immediately after I told her she's 40, that Monday she made sure she sent another 40-year-old face on WhatsApp. All right? Ruxana, on that Sunday I said she's 40. On that Monday, Navin, I saw a 40-year-old face. All right? When I said everything was rotten in my stomach, she's hiding her face. I could smell the rot over 1,000 times. That is alcoholism. That is alcoholism. You don't care. You can kill yourself. You don't care. Because if you go through it once, then you know what happens. After that once, if you continue, it means you are committing self-destruction because you know the pain. You felt the pain. But you continue because you don't care. You don't care for yourself. If you don't care for yourself, how would you care for your wife? How would you care for your children? How would you care for everyone else? Do you understand? If you don't care for yourself. So, I know the pain that Denver went in his life. And for a few years before that, Jessica was complaining and complaining. And I told Jessica, your brother is going to come right. And she said, never Guru. She said, never Guru. I said, Jessica, your brother will come right. He'll come to ashram. Jessica said, never Guru. My brother will never come to ashram. The Christians got him the other side. My Christian side of my family got him. Did you say that, Jessica? He's been influenced by the Christian side of my family. I said, Jessica, your brother will come to ashram and he'll come right. So, Denver, behind the scenes, your guru and your sister. Well, you know, wherever your sister is, there's a war, there's a Kurukshetra. You know, in every subject, every topic, wherever Jessica is, there's a Kurukshetra. Yeah, and there was a Kurukshetra between me and her. They said, your wife won't come to satsang. I said, no, your wife will be here as well. All right. So today is a great day because you made the impossible possible. Your children should come to me every week, your two sons. And they played a great role in your recovery and both the parents being united today. Your two sons, they played a huge role. They came to me and they spoke their heart out to me. They said, Guru, we love our mom, we love our dad, and we would like to see them. And I said, don't worry, my boys. And I think on the last time I gave your big son 6 months, I said, within 6 months, your mom and your dad will be in ashram. So the boys, they're having a holiday now. While school is on, they still have a holiday now and again because they worked hard for the parents. And even they are shocked that the parents are together. The father is sober now for a year, Thursday. There's no more family violence, although normal people do get involved. And all this, Denver, cannot go to the Guru. It has to go to you. It has to go to you because you put in the effort. You fought the obsession. You are still fighting that obsession. That obsession will remain with you until death. And every day to remain sober for a addicted person is a victory. So it is you that won this battle. It is you that's winning this battle. And it is you that's going to conclude. Nobody can win against alcohol and nobody can win against drugs. Nobody can beat alcohol and nobody can beat drugs. People have tried and everyone has failed. All you have to do is let it go on that end and you just remain sober on this end. And you know, and all of you here know that I have capacity in various things, you know. But with all the capacity that I have, I could not neutralize alcohol. I could not neutralize alcohol. We tried Denver, one beer a day, and after 4 days it finished off to 2 beers, and after 3 days it finished off to a dozen, and after 5 days it was back to the heart. Yes? So we tried, Guru tried every trick, and this is why the Guru, although I was not involved in drugs, the Guru recommends Alcoholics Anonymous for those that are involved in alcohol, and Narcotics Anonymous for those that are involved in drugs. I took Denver for his very first meeting, and as Denver said, Denver gave his own discourse on Thursday. I can flight it with my discourse. We can put it on YouTube. And in his discourse, he said that the venue was wrong. But I insisted, notwithstanding that the venue was wrong, we must continue until we find the right venue. Jessica made a few calls. We found the right venue. We went into that meeting. And this is a God ordained program. Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and the Bhagavad Gita is synonymous. You will find the Bhagavad Gita in the entire Alcoholics Anonymous literature and in the entire Narcotics Anonymous literature. The Bhagavad Gita is embedded in those literatures. Therefore, you can find its success. No ashram has capacity to keep you sober. No church has capacity to keep you sober. No mosque has capacity to keep you sober. No synagogue has capacity to keep you sober. No sangoma has capacity to keep you sober. You have to go through this God ordained program. And the success of this God ordained program is Denver's 1 year on Thursday. In fact, he's stronger than Sean and Sherwin. Sean stayed with me for 6 months. Sherwin stayed with me for many years, over years. Denver did not stay with me. He was on his own. But Satish Bhai made sure, just so that he could continue eating his chicken and the Guru must look the other way. He made sure he became Denver's sponsor. He took Denver and he went. And Satish Bhai can sit 4 hours outside meetings. Jessica made him use. Without any complaints. So when it came to taking Denver, and if Satish Bhai didn't want to go and sit and listen to the same old, he sat in his car. But the fact, Denver, is you need a support system and you need love. And once you love, you see that people love you, then you don't want to disappoint. And that's where you hook your sobriety. You hook your sobriety on the love of people that takes care of. You wouldn't want to hurt Satish Bhai. Yeah, Jessica, well, you would want to hurt her, but I'm not becoming unsober. I know you have a lot of, all right, but you won't want Satish Bhai to have wasted 1 year taking you. And that's how it works. That's how Sherwin got hooked. That's how Sean got hooked. Because even with my status quo, I wear my t-shirt, I wear my khakis, I wear my jeans or my track pants, and I go to these meetings. Even every meeting where now there's a milestone for Sean or Sherwin, I attend those meetings because you need the love and the support. You need the love and the support. Sherwin just completed his 18 months and Sean completed his 8 months. So Sherwin, Sean, and Chanel, they all have their birthdays together. So Chanel was 3, Sean was 8, and Sherwin was 18 months. It's going to be like that all the time. All right? It's going to continue like that. And I'm happy God gave me an opportunity to have children in the same circumstances that I find my aspirants in. And with the experience of my own children, I can transfer that experience to my aspirants, because there is no spiritual book that teaches a guru how to deal with an addict. Is there any spiritual book? Can somebody find me one Veda, one Bible, one Quran that teaches us? So God made me live this experience with my own children. And I'm happy my children, towards the latter part, you can see my entire family here in satsang today. Towards the latter part and not at inception. Because if aspirants saw that I have a perfect family, it will be very difficult for them to transform. The bar will be too high. The guru is perfect, his wife is perfect, his children are perfect, his daughter-in-laws are perfect, his grandchildren are perfect. The bar is too high in this Kali Yuga. Yes or no? So if you find imperfection in my family, then it is a good thing, because you can identify with that imperfection. You can say, hey, my own guru goes through this trauma, my own guru's family goes through this trauma, then it is normal, and you can look at the solution. You can look at the solution, and if the guru's family is now transforming, then there is no reason why your family cannot transform. God spares no one. God spares no one. You understand? So these are the things I taught my children. I told Sean that if you want your wife to change, you must. Denver. And I told you, Denver. And I told Jessica, if you want Denise to change, who must change? Denver. When you change Denver, what happened? Everyone changed. And when Sean changed, then everyone changed. So you must be the change. Don't poke your finger at other people, Marlene. You must change first. Marlene, who must change first? You. When you change, then Sherwin will change. All of you understand? And that is the rule. That is the rule. If you want others to change, you can't have the same faults. Can you have the same faults others got, but you want others to change? Does it make sense? For me to tell you to stop eating meat, Satish, what I had to do first? Stop eating meat. I can't eat meat and tell you don't eat meat. I can't drink and tell Denver don't drink. I can't be vulgar and tell Avir not to swear. Yes, Ram? You agree? Ram is in full agreement. He phoned me yesterday to see whether I was dead or alive. He was disappointed when I said I'm recovering and I'm doing well. I heard the disappointment in his voice. He said, how you, Guru? I phoned Ashmika, and Ashmika reported you are very sick. And he's waiting eagerly for the answer. And I said, Ram, I'm recovering. And I just said like a whisper, like a cursed whisper. I said, Ram, you there? Yeah, oh, it's nice you're recovering. Bye. The day I go, Ram is free. The day I go, Ram is free. But I'll make sure, Ram, I take all the goats with me. There won't be one goat in this country, Ram. Okay? So, this is the Bhagavad Gita. Everything I've spoken about is in the Bhagavad Gita. Denver, from the ashram, from everybody, keep being the example you are. By your silence, by your character, you are still a glowing example for everyone. You are a beacon of hope for everyone. When you keep in your sobriety, you allowing others. This ashram going to have many, many, many others. And you are going to be an example. You're going to be a hope. Your sobriety is not only for you and your family. Your sobriety is for everyone who's an alcoholic. Every alcoholic needs you. So you need to keep it up. You need to stay, as they say in the NA, plugged in. You need to stay plugged in because your sobriety is going to influence a whole lot of people. Next 20, 30 years, it's going to be a beacon of hope. Coming back to the Bhagavad Gita, and before I go anywhere, I was just looking at Trisha trying to steal another song. And I just remembered when she came to the satsang. How long you here, Trisha? Four years. 4 years is a long time. She used to sit right in the back, quiet as a mouse. Today she's singing on TikTok. Okay? And her life has also been the Bhagavad Gita. She had an entire demonic family captured. An entire, yeah, that family should be about 25 in the satsang. That entire family with their brothers and cousins, once upon a time there were about 25 of them in the satsang. And they muti bambad Trisha. Trisha? And Trisha was gone to the Kauravas. Trisha was gone to the Kauravas. And the battle of Kurukshetra took place right here at the ashram. And Trisha's mother came down and she said, Guru, I sent my daughter to become divine. How did you allow a demonic family to usurp my daughter? Trisha? And she came about 2 or 3 times. And I gave her a guarantee that I will extricate Trisha from that family and return her to that sanity. That time Trisha wasn't singing bhajans. She was singing for Rajesh Khanna. Trisha, what songs you were singing? Kabhi Kushi, Kabhi Gum. Trisha was singing some top songs. And I reeled her in like a fish. Trisha was like a shark. very hard to reel in because that family's influence had captured her mind. She could not see that she was swimming in the sewer. Where you are swimming, Shisha? In the sewer, but it was like perfume for her. She couldn't see. I put my hook and I reeled her out. I reeled her out. And today she is happy. She's singing for God. Not only singing for God, she's stealing a guru's discourse time and doing the second bhajan. Is this not in the Bhagavad Gita? Is this not in the 700 verses? So Trisha left the Pandavas and she got absorbed in the Kauravas. And Lord Sri Krishna brought her out and made her see her own status quo and divinity. So would these two people, Denver and Trisha, I don't need thousands and thousands of people singing around the world for me. I think I've done my job. And if I were to close my eyes tonight, I'll go with a smile. Ram, have you ever been to a funeral, seen people face smiling? Any family, friends, anyone? Died with a smile? Ram? I don't believe it. You saw death when things were screaming. Right? But people do go with a smile. People do go with a smile. And if I go with a smile, don't think I smiled for everyone. It will only be for Denver and Trisha. Don't say, hey, I put in flower on the Guru's face. I saw a big smile for me. All right, that's a frozen smile. My last thought. So I'm happy that I could change and transform two lives. Even Trisha's life coming back to divinity was impossible at that time. If a mom comes to this service, she is going to tell you that everyone has given up hope on Trisha. But Trisha is here. She left the Kauravas. She's with the Pandavas. And now she's singing like a nightingale. All right? And we want to offer that success to everyone else, both here in my audience and those that's watching on social media. And whilst I'm remembering, I think, Ashmika, when you're doing the posters for the Bhagavad Gita invitation, also make a note there that if anyone has any questions, because when we get interactive, then the Bhagavad Gita will become more practical. So if anyone has any questions, the Guru will answer those questions on this program. So you guys, I don't have access to the commentary on the social media whilst I'm discussing. If there is any, provided the question is not obscene, not insulting, it must be a genuine inquiry. It must be a genuine inquiry. We can answer any question. We will answer any question off the cuff. A bona fide guru must be able to answer any question off the cuff. But don't ask me for verses. Don't ask me for verses and where they are located. Then I'll have to give it to you the following week through research. Okay? Because I have transcendental knowledge I have not Bhahated the Vedas. If I have Bhahated the Vedas, then I can be like Zakir Naik. You know Zakir Naik? He'll say chapter 2, verse 14, subsection A. All right. So I can't, but I can give you the substance and context. So we want to do that. We want to have an interactive discourse from anybody, from any part of the world. We are going to answer. Well, as soon as the question comes in, as soon as I finish one context, then you can raise your hand and say there's a question, name the person, where the person is from, and what the question is. All right? So let's look at our current status in this country. So I wanted to be at this point in the Matlanga Commission so that I could interface the Matlanga Commission and the Bhagavad Gita, because now everything has been revealed. You can connect all the dots. Again, the word usurping, the Mahabharata is the greatest political saga that ever took place. And if anyone want to understand politics, if anyone want to understand political maneuvering, if anyone want to understand the finer points of politics, then that person should read the Mahabharata. In fact, parliament in the world, every parliament in the world should have the Mahabharata, because that is where you learn the finesse of politics. There is no greater political drama slash saga that has ever took place in the world that does not contain the entire world in it. That does not contain the entire world in it. And if one is well acquainted with the Mahabharata, then political solutions are found at ease. Political solutions are found at ease. So the Mahabharata states, in the Mahabharata, you get two type of rulers. You get demonic rulers. One brother is a demonic ruler, Trista, Rashtra, and the other brother, his children are divine rulers. So in the Madlanga Commission, we found in every institution the Mahabharata playing out. In every institution, the Kurukshetra war playing out. In the SAPS itself, in the South African Police Force, we found two segments of people as described in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, 1 to 3, verses 1 to 3, and verse 4. We found two distinct categories of people in the South African police force as described in the Bhagavad Gita. When did the Bhagavad Gita, when was the Bhagavad Gita spoken? 5,120 years ago. 5,120 years ago. And I told you when I started the Bhagavad Gita discourses that we are going to uniquely interface the Bhagavad Gita, that is an ancient dialogue. We're going to interface it with today, 2026. 2026 in South Africa, the Bhagavad Gita is playing out in every government department. Have you all seen that? Have you all seen? It's playing out in Parliament. In Parliament, we have the demonic from 400 parliamentarians. There are 400 parliamentarians in the South African National Parliament, yes? We have about 380 Kauravas there. Yes? And we have about 20 Pandavas. Is the Bhagavad Gita playing out in Parliament? If you take chapter 16 of the Bhagavad Gita, verses 1, 2, 3, and verse 4, and then you're going to take those verses, they characterize these parliamentarians to the T, don't they? Then the South African police force, that squad led by General Mkhwanazi, and that squad led by former Deputy Commissioner Sibia. You'll find 20% of Pandavas in the Mkhwanazi camp and 80% of the Kauravas in Sibia's camp. And if you go to chapter 16, where my Bhagavad Gita is giving money. My Bhagavad Gita just spat out 100 rand note as I looked at it. You can see how important it is to have a Bhagavad Gita. Those of you that want money, Vasan, make the Bhagavad Gita in big writing. Why? You will have more pages. And if the Bhagavad Gita got more pages, more notes can come flying out. So the Bhagavad Gita chapter 16 describes the South African police service and the two factions that are in the service accurately. Does it not? And what happens when you fabricate something? The Madlanga Commission showed us exactly how Lord Sri Krishna showed us that when you usurp something, when you take something that does not belong to you, when you take it to fraudulent means, in the end you're going to get caught. And in the Madlanga Commission, this week we had the greatest Padial Adams. For months now he said he will be launching bombs at the Madlanga Commission. And whilst I was waiting to see his bombs, I saw he got bombed. He got obliterated. He got obliterated. And he started the demonic process that shook various departments in this country, that shook the Ministry of Police, that shook the intelligence, that shook the commissioner, that shook Parliament, that shook various branches, the Hawks, IPID, IDAC. One man with a demonic ambition, one man with a demonic ambition. He created havoc in a civilized democracy, did he not? His false statements took innocent people to jail. His false statements took innocent people to jail. People that are working and putting their lives. Lieutenant General Kumalo, he works in intelligence. He gathers information and his life is at risk at every given moment. That man was fighting for the country. A divine soul was locked up. Did that happen in the Mahabharata? Was the Pandavas exiled? Was Kumalo and the intelligent community and Masimola not exiled at the moment? Or were they not exiled from their duties? Is this not 100% interfacing with the Bhagavad Gitas and the Mahabharata? Am I right to say that the Bhagavad Gita is for all times, for yesterday, today, and tomorrow? Am I right to say that the Bhagavad Gita is a substratum of everything that's happening to everyone? That 700 verses is in everyone, and that 700 verses impacts everyone, every day, everywhere. Am I right to say that? Am I right to say that the Bhagavad Gita is embedded in your soul? Am I right to say that? Then am I right to say that if there are any wrong Bhagavad Gitas, they should be called out so that a wrong Bhagavad Gita will never interface with the Bhagavad Gita that's in your soul. Yes? All of you agree? Okay. So we brought the Madlanga Commission in. We interface the Bhagavad Gita with the Madlanga Commission. It's interfacing perfectly, and we know the results. You know, I am a South African. From the age of 14, I became an activist. From the age of 14, I put my life on the line for this country many times. Not once, many times. I put my life on the line for my country, for my society, and for my people. Jessica, I got involved in various activities to ensure my country, South Africa, is the best country in the world. And today I feel vindicated when I see there's so many good policemen and women that still exist in the South African police force. And I have the luxury of saying that I served in the South African police force for 10 years. I was an active member of the South African police force. I have over 1,000 Schedule 1 arrests and convictions. And Jessica, you long in court. Can you say that of other policemen? Over 1,000, not only arrests, over 1,000 arrests and conviction. It means I caught Jessica abusing Satish. Then I made a statement. I, Shami Singh, witnessed Jessica Pandey harassing and tormenting Satish Pandey. Then I took her to court. And Jessica came with all her attorneys. I said the same thing. And Jessica got a 10 years sentence. That is why I was happy celebrating. That is arrest and conviction. All right? It's there in my biography, and Rajak, former Colonel Rajak, is still alive. He will verify what I'm saying. And when I see Lieutenant General Kumalo, Jessica, see if you can get into the ashram. Lieutenant General Kumalo, Konazi, I like that Dineo, that female. She just came. She was a civilian. She joined the police force and she got arrested for no reason. For no reason. See if you can invite them. And whilst we're talking on that topic, Jessica, have you found your political parties? Have you started? Okay, we put a program together, profile the ashram and the ashram's involvement in every aspect, every societal aspect in this country. We're not only involved in politics, we have a field of involvement, an array of involvement in the prosperity of our country. You must love, according to the Vedas, you must love the country that you are a citizen in. Don't make Om Namo Narayana for India. Satish, don't make Om Namo Narayana for Narendra Modi and India. You make Om Namo Narayana for our Dhritarashtra. Our president is Dhrishta. He's a blind president. Is he not blind? Is he not blind? President Ramaphosa? Is he not blind physically? Is he not blind spiritually? Is he not one of the greatest causes for this corruption that happened? Where is that other commission, that fake commission where 1 billion rand was used? That commission was instituted for Zuma. How big is the Madlanga Commission? How deep is its reach? How many years is its reach? Why hasn't Zuma, President Zuma's name, come up once in this entire commission? Why? Don't you think President Zuma should be sharing at least 50% of airtime on this commission? Jessica, is he sharing any, even 2 seconds of the Madlanga Commission? Why? Zondo Commission was specifically designed by white monopoly to discredit President Zuma. President Zuma is still walking around, he's still singing, he's still dancing, and MK is still growing from 14% to 15%. They're still growing. Why are they growing? Because don't you think, as an ordinary person, you don't have to be a politician, as a citizen of this country, state capture is such a huge crime, is it not? Why can't somebody come up with anything in the Madlanga Commission that can point to state capture and President Zuma's criminalities? You understand what I'm saying? You understand why, as this ashram, notwithstanding how the world looks at Zuma, why I went to Nkandla and why I supported President Zuma. He's not the cleanest. There's no clean politician. There's no clean politician. But among the politicians, he was the best. He still is the best. You understand? There's no evidence against him. There's only rumors and allegations. rumors and allegations. But look at Ramaphosa. Is there direct evidence against him? Was dollars found in his couch? Was 1 rand found somewhere in Nkandla? Not even. But how many million dollars, how many dollars were found in the couch? And that was a magical couch. First the money disappeared, then the couch disappeared. Wasn't just peep under the Guru must have kept something. You don't have to go to Uganda. Put your hand. I'm learning from my president. so, so this is a Bhagavad Gita, this is a Mahabharata, and this is a reality. And this is called spiritual science. Spiritual science is evidential. You don't have to learn the historical figures because historical figures can't come today and do something for you. What can Mahatma Gandhi do? What can Mahatma Gandhi do for you today? He's a historical figure. What can his salt march do for you today? When he was around, there was one kind of salt. How many kind of salt there are now? Person, you can even bath with your salt. You understand? So we don't have to worship historical figures. We have to live God's truth today. By living, what's more important? Worshipping God's truth or living God's truth? Devashka, I see you crying or you wiping your eyes frequently? Or are you crying now and again? And what's making you cry? Because I heard my 40-year-old Shana sing Dhana Daulat, and I saw you wiping your eyes one way. You don't want your Dhan and Daulat, or you want it. Huh? You don't want your wealth and your prosperity. Ashram got a trust person. Vasan is a treasurer. Give our account details, Vas. Yes, that song should make you feel emotional. It should make you feel emotional because sometimes we look at how much we run for external pleasures. We forget the wealth that is within this body itself. And there is no greater wealth than that which is found inside this body. If you can breathe freely, if you can eat freely, if you can relieve yourself freely, and if you can sleep freely, you are the wealthiest person on earth. You are the wealthiest person on earth. If you can breathe freely, if you can eat, you can get up, you can walk, that is your wealth. All other wealth is accessory to that wealth. You agree? All other wealth is accessory to that. When I was sick this past 2 weeks, my greatest prayer was just to be normal. My greatest prayer was, God, just let me become normal again. And those of you that are normal, then there's no greater wealth than that. Because I ran to the doctor to take a B12, I still didn't come back. Even today, sitting here, I improved quite a lot. but I am not in my zone. You don't see me posting, because for me to post, then I need to get into my zone. And I'm away from my zone and I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm not in my zone. So the greatest wealth is your health, your own health, not the health of someone else. And you need to do everything in your power to keep yourself healthy. Who knows the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita? Verse 14. We read verse 14, or do we need to read verse 14? Completed. Then we now on verse 15 of the Sri Ramanuja Gita Bhasya, chapter 2, verse 15. For he whom these do not affect, O chief of men, and to whom pain and pleasure are the same, that steadfast man alone is worthy of immortality. So God is telling us that that personality who can experience pleasure and pain and be the same. Experience pleasure, experience pain, and be the same. That man will reach immortality. What is immortality? It ultimately means that for you to attain liberation, for you to attain liberation, ultimate liberation, you have to liberate yourself from pleasure and pain in this life as an experience. Pleasure and pain in this life as an experience. So when something goes off, you have to grind your teeth and maintain your status quo of normalcy. And when something good happens, again you grind your teeth and maintain your status quo of normalcy. When something bad happens, and the rule for anything bad happening to you, why is something bad happening to you, Nirali? It is straight. If anything bad happens to you, you pain for your accumulated karmic balance. And if anything good is happening, you receiving your accumulated karmic value. When you pay, you must be the same person as when you receive. And the previous verse say that this condition does not stay there forever. Did we do a few verses back that cold does not remain cold forever and hot does not remain hot forever? These transformations or these interactions with you are temporary. So when you make a payment, when something does not go your way, when you lose something, you don't continuously lose, and neither do you continuously gain. You lose sporadically as per your payment plan, and you gain sporadically as per your payment plan. If something does not last forever, either pain or pleasure. If you know it does not last forever, is there any reason to align yourself to either? If pleasure does not last forever, is there any reason to interface with pleasure and say, I want to be situated in you, knowing it does not last forever? And if pain does not last forever, is there any reason for you to situate yourself in a painful dimension, knowing it does not last forever? Like I was in a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain. Even when Abir and his family came on Friday, 95% of me wanted to tell Ashmika, please don't come this week. 95% of me wanted to tell Ashmika, please don't come this week. Because I was really miserable. I couldn't even sit on this chair on Friday. I had to go back to my bed. And whilst they were massaging me, I was going through hell. I was going through hell. But I knew it's going to be temporary. And I knew my relationship with my devotee is permanent. And therefore, I bypassed my temporary discomfort for the permanent relationship that I have with my devotees. Do you understand? Because the Bhagavad Gita must be experienced. This verse, I must experience it. And then I must teach you how to experience it. If I do not experience this pleasure and pain, I had this pleasure and pain. Person found a new takeaway. What's it called? Hit a chow. So from buttercup, it is now gone to hit a chow. So Vasan said, Acharya ji, you don't want to get something from buttercup. I said, no, Vasan. But I don't mind a chutney from hit a chow. So that was pleasure for me. That was, in my pain, that was pleasure. And Vasan, he said, Acharya ji, come with me. I went with him halfway. I said, Vas, please take me home. I can't manage. We had to turn the van halfway. Vasan had to leave me home. That's how sick I was. That I couldn't even sit in a motor vehicle and go 2 kilometers from the ashram. He had to turn the vehicle halfway, leave me home, and go. But we continue to exist. Last week we had service. This week we have service. And I know this pain is temporary. I know somewhere along the line this pain is going to leave me completely. I just have to depend fully on the Supreme Lord. I have to carry out His mission in whatever condition that I am. And so do you. If you have a headache, don't say I couldn't come to Satsangram. Because you must remember, your Guru was 95% out, but he could still attend service so that he could entertain you when you came to service. So this is, if you're in hospital, it's fine. But if you're not in hospital, I expect you to crawl. I expect you to crawl. All right? And then going to that Saturday Seva. Saturday Seva, I see many of you are taking it lightly, but it's a compulsory program of the ashram. Now it is compulsory. It's exactly like attending satsang. We are the only people that don't do this seva. Even temples, even temples. Cyril, how long you was in a temple? How great that seva is, how great that program is. All right. So that one Saturday, that seva is compulsory. It's not how many people we have, even if we have 2 people. It's not about the people. Now it's about the structure, about the spiritual structure. And you will see the benefit, you will reap the benefit when you get involved. You understand? So it's part and parcel of the program because Guruji, I kept it away for many years. I wanted to do all the dirty work. Now the dirty work has been done. Has the dirty work been done? Yes, I did the dirty work. I wanted to do it. Now you got clean work to do. You don't have dirty work to do. And that Saturday, taking a broom, I want you all to learn to trim these hedges. I want you all to learn a whole lot of things because Guru is not going to be here. How is this ashram going to be run when the Guru is not here? How is the ashram going to be run? Do you understand? So you have to get involved in every aspect. These windows have to be washed on that Saturday when you come. Hose pipe, water, soap, wash. You understand? One family get involved with that. One family get involved with weeding. Left the grass grow there. I want you all to learn the weed eater. You're going to be maintaining. Maintenance must be done by you all. So lastly, I want to end up, Vasan, do we have capacity to put the lights around the ashram before Friday? Or do we get uh, that guy, what's his name, on a weekday to send his people and maybe we can pay them and put the lights. Then I'm going to get a boy from Banana City. We'll pay him 150 Rand a night for the whole Krishna Astami to look after that lights. That lights cost 30,000 Rand or more, and the people keep jumping over the fence and coming through. We rather have somebody, Vasan. How many nights? How many? 8. So 1,200 Rand. You all need to put in a kitty and you all need to pay that guard. You think it's a good, for 150 Rand a night, we saving, uh, that, that light will attract them. My normal lights attract them. Imagine how that light will attract them. Right? And if we can, we need to, on the bottom gate, we need to put the spikes, 4 meter of spikes. I think there's we'll go check him out tomorrow, Vas, if you got time, in Spencer Road, that burglar guard man. You went with me, huh? Yeah, in Morwood Road. So we just need 4 meter and we get a battery cordless drill. We drill it. So they jump in over the gate because they have it's flat. We just need to put 4 meters of spike there. All right. So we want to dress the ashram. We paid a lot of money for the lights. We want the ashram to look its best with those lights. That is now our culture. That is our culture, and that is our tradition. The tradition of Mother Lakshmi is bright and shiny lights. That's all part of our culture. So we want to infuse our culture in our Bhagavad Gita week. Then in the Gita week, I think it will be appropriate in those 8 days to refute all the other Bhagavad Gita. You think and show the contradictions of all the Bhagavad Gitas evidently in the Gita week, that the only Bhagavad Gita that is authentic, undistilled, non-philosophical, authentic, original from the Mahabharata is the one by Lord Sri Ramanuj, and that the Krishna in the Krishna Janma Astami is not the Krishna of ISKCON. I want to do it evidentially in this week, in the week where they claim to be custodians of Lord Sri Krishna. We refute and say you have no mandate and you have created your own Krishnas. There are two Lord Krishnas, yes? One belonging to ISKCON and one belonging to Sanatana Dharma. So we're going to say that the Krishna or Lord Krishna of Sanatana Dharma is the original Krishna. The Krishna of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a concocted Krishna, and we reject and refute the concocted Krishna of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Krishna Janma Astami. You think the original Krishna will be happy that we refute the fake Krishna? You think, Saru? Mirali? Vasan? Jessica? Trisha? And the original Ram? Ram? What do you think, Lord Krishna, the original Krishna will be happy? Okay? So we have a lot of work from Friday, and we're going to take it to the bank. I'm not here to play the Om game. I'm not here to play the Om Swaha game. I'm not here to touch your head, Ajit, and all your problems go away. I'm here to really work your chakras. Really work your chakras. I'm here to really align you with God. I'm here to really interface you with God. I'm not here to play the Om game. No Om, no Om Swaha. Naveen, you like it? No Swaha. No Om Swaha. No Om Swada. I'm just here to reconnect you to your Creator. I'm here to reconnect you to your Creator. I got no time for games. And I got no time for people playing games with Sanatana Dharma. If people are playing games with Sanatana Dharma, my job is to expose them. Are you happy? You think it's the right thing to do? If we do not change the human mind and make them divine, Kurukshetra, the Kauravas will rule. The Kauravas will rule. As you can see in the Madlanga Commission, if Mkonazi did not stand up, when he stood up, was he not ridiculed? Was he not ridiculed? Did people not point fingers at him? On the 6th of July 2025, the day he stood up and gave a press conference. Today, where are the people today? So similarly, at the Sri Narayan Dham, we have to stand up for all the fraud against Sanatana Dharma. We have to stand up against all the fraudulent people that's perpetuating false narratives in Sanatana Dharma. Otherwise, Sanatana Dharma will collapse. What percentage of Muslims know the Quran? What percentage of Muslims read the Quran? Over 50 to 60%. What percentage of Christians know the Bible? About 30 to 40%. What percentage of Christians read the Bible? About 15 to 16%. What percentage of Sanatana Dharmi know the Bhagavad Gita? Under 1%. And what percentage of Sanatana Dharmis read the Bhagavad Gita? Under 1/10%. So you think I have a job? You think I am right in what I'm doing? And why you think Sanatana Dharmis are not inside the Bhagavad Gita? It's because of all the false narratives. We have the Gen Z. You all heard of the Gen Z? Yeah, and the Guru want to target the Gen Z, not only in Sanatana Dharma, around the world. Don't you think the Gen Z are scientific people? Our youth, are they not armed with devices that can prove what the Guru is saying? If I tell them, prove. If I tell the Gen Z that Lord Krishna sank Dwarika and it is under the sea at Gujarat, and tell them go and investigate, you think they'll love what the Guru said after finding the truth that Lord Sri Krishna did exist and then that city is under the sea? You think they'll love it? You think the Gen Z will love the bridge between Lanka and India during Lord's time? You think the Gen Z will start reading the Mahabharata? You think Gen Z will start reading the Ramayana? You think Gen Z will start reading the Upanishads? But before the Gen Z get in, we have to clear the lies from the absolute truth. Do you think that's the approach we should take? If we bring the Gen Z into the mixed biryani of Sanatana Dharma today, are we bringing them closer or will we be taking them away from Sanatana Dharma? But if we clean up Sanatana Dharma evidentially and then invite Gen Z of the world, of every religion, then the Mahabharata will be studied in the church, it will be studied in the mosque, it will be studied in the synagogue, because the Mahabharata is a book of societal transformation for all of humanity. Jai Shriman, Narayan. Lisa, I took my 15 minutes back.